Hello everyone, this is Ms. Samra. I'm back with my next lesson. So today we have 9-3. 9-3 which is on 567. So this section is all about solving right triangle. Solving right triangles. Okay, when it comes to solving right triangle, idea is we just have to solve for all missing angles and all missing sides. So, or you could just say all three angles and all three side lengths. So first of all, if I say right triangle, so obviously you're just solving for two angles because I know one of the angles is already going to be 90 degrees. So basically it's just solving for two angles and three side lengths. One thing you need to understand in a right triangle is how to label all angles and side lengths. So for labeling all the angles, we use uppercase letters like A, B, and C. And normally we put C for right angle and the side across. So like this is angle A and side across would be lowercase a. And this is angle B, so side across, which is this, B. And this is angle C, which is right angle, so side across would be lowercase c. This is how we label all angles and all sides. So basically it's solving for all angles, two angles and three sides. Okay, so how do we do it? So let's start off with an example. Let's say I have a right triangle like this. So this is 90. This is 30 degrees, and my question for you guys is to solve for this x and this y. Hold on, this is not y, my bad. Let's just erase this. This is 30 degrees and this is 30 centimeter. And my question for you guys to is solve for this x and this r. Okay, now basically we're solving for all missing angles and missing sides. So first I'm just going to label everything. This is A, this is B, and this is C. So let's just say A and lowercase a, B, lowercase b, C, and lowercase c. Let's just put everything here, everything we know. So angle A is not there, so I'm just going to put nothing there. So B is 30 degrees and C we already know it's 90 degrees. And what do we know for the side lengths? So AC, which is right across uppercase B, so this would be side length B, which is 30 centimeters. Okay, now in order to solve for missing information here, so the easiest thing you could do is solving for third angle. I know angle C and B is already there, the problem, so I can just add these two and then take away from 180. That's one thing. Or you already know A and B would add up to 90, so that could be another way. So that I know this is going to be 60 degrees. So once you have this third angle here, now we need to solve for these side lengths. This is where you need to use all trig ratios. Okay, how do we use it? So first you need to pick one of the angles. Make sure you use one of those acute angles. When I say acute, I'm not talking about right angle. I'm talking about this A or B angle. So you can pick one of the angles. So let's just say I have decided to pick this angle. And what I know is the opposite side for this angle. And what I'm looking for is this side length. So I could set this up. So now you need to think about this. So you know the angle and you know the opposite side for this angle. And you're looking for adjacent side for that angle. So now try recalling those trig functions. So which one of those functions has opposite and adjacent side? So tangent is the only, tangent or cotangent. But the easier way is just to take tangent. So I would set this up like this. I would take tangent of 30 degrees and set up a fraction or set up a ratio. It would be opposite over adjacent, which is x. Now once you set this up, this becomes normal algebraic equation, and then just do cross product and solve for the missing variable. I could just do cross product here. This becomes x times tangent x, tangent 30, and it's equal to 30. And now just solve for x, so I would divide by tangent 30. Put in your calculator, and finally your answer would be 51.96 centimeter. Here you go. I'm done with solving for x. Now, if I ask you for r, you could pick another ratio. Like let's say if I still want to follow this angle, I already know the opposite side and I'm looking at hypotenuse. Now try to calling those ratios. Which one has opposite and hypotenuse? So I would use sine or cosecant one of those and then just set it up and solve. That could be one way. Or since you already have this side length, we just figured out this one, which is 51.9. So you already have two sides out of three. Why can't you just use Pythagorean theorem and solve for the last one? That could be another way. All right. Okay, that was just simple, like normal problem with solving. So let's say if I have real life problem with solving. So for that, in order to understand these real life application problems, there's something else you need to understand. We have two different terms. So there's one that's called angle of elevation, and another one, it's called angle of depression. So what are those two terms, or what are those two angles? So in order to understand this, let me show you something. So let's just say there's a big mountain here. I don't want to make it spiky. Anyways, just pretend this is a big mountain here. And you are standing up here. And your friend is standing down here. So this is your friend and you're up there. Okay. When I say, let's say you are, let me pick a different color. This is you. And this is your friend. So you're looking, when you look down to your friend, that would make angle of depression. And when your friend looking up to you like this, that would be angle of elevation. Okay, but the thing is, what part? Because when I go from here to here, down here, so I see two angles. There's one down here, there's one above the line. So which one is angle of depression or angle of elevation? So you really have to understand that. So let's look that up. So normally when you're standing, let's say if you're standing up here, your normal eye level, you're supposed to look straight like this. Or since we're talking about angles, I would say this is the initial side of this angle. And when you look down, basically that angle would be this piece here. Let me pick a different color. So it would be this piece. So the angle that goes in between initial side and the side of you looking at your friend, that would be angle of depression. And angle of elevation, so same thing applies. When your friend, okay, your friend is supposed to look straight to his eye level, right? Which is going to be his initial side. But where your friend looks up, so it means it would be this angle that goes in between initial side and eye side, the side he is looking at, like this one here. So that would be angle of elevation. All right, so that's what you need to understand, so you can draw it out all the time and then just solve for the missing information. So now I'm going to show you an example which is on page now. So I'm on page number 569 and I'm looking at example number 5. So if you want to follow along, you can open your textbook. So what I have in this problem is a surveyor is standing 115 feet from the base of the Washington Monument as shown in figure 9.26. The surveyor measured the angle of elevation to the top of the monument as 78.3 degrees. How tall is the Washington Monument? Okay, if you can even look at the image, we have it on the left side. So there's a monument which is like, I would say this tall. That's what we are looking for. I'm just going to say this is Y. And the person is actually standing 115 feet away from this monument. And the angle of elevation. So whenever someone's standing on the ground and try looking up, that's where angle of elevation is going to be. So the angle of elevation is 78.3 degrees. And we're looking for this height, which is Y. So same idea, I'll focus on one angle, which is this angle. And I'm looking for opposite side for this angle. And what I know is the adjacent side. So again, I'll just go for the ratio that has opposite and adjacent both, which is tangent. Or again, tangent or cotangent, whichever one. But I guess tangent is the easiest one. So I'll set this up as tangent 78.3 degrees and its opposite, which is missing, over 115. Now this becomes normal algebraic equation, so I'll just solve if you do cross product after this. So finally it would be y is equal to 555 feet. Yeah, so this is pretty much all. So that's how we solve right triangle. So if you have any question, just comment on this video. I answered that, and thank you guys. Thank you for watching.